morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever it is for you. Welcome back to my living room. This is another astrology peephole for today, the 2nd of July, 2021. And I'm Katie. This is Moon Mom and Musings. Hello. All right, guys. Today we have a waning crescent moon in the sign of Aries. We have a beautiful sun in the sign of Cancer, watery. The sun in water is already a steamy kind of a connection. And then we have it influenced by an Aries moon, a sort of fool energy, but very fiery moon. So when I woke up this morning, I heard finish him, like Mortal Kombat style. All right. So yesterday we began our magnificent final boss battle. And it doesn't surprise me for an instant that this boss battle doesn't just take one day to complete. Today is the real, it's the final blows, all right? It's not, it's taking no prisoners. It's putting the nail in the coffin once and for all and no longer taking any shit, all right? So first and foremost, let's talk about the moon and the sun. The moon is making a square with the sun, right? We had our last, is it the last quarter? Yeah, the last quarter moon. Beginning yesterday on the 1st of July. And it's, I mean, that's kind of like the halfway point, right? Between the full and the new moon. So it makes a square. And this is the idea of, sorry guys. This is the idea of the windshield wipers not being in sync, right? They are in a not a very nice way, not in sync, right? A square is it's like they are the most out of sync that they can be, right? They're not like, it's really not working so well for them. So this is definitely a head and the heart balance is undergoing a bit of a challenge. There are boundaries and obstacles when we have a square between two planets, particularly when they don't necessarily agree with one another. And let's be honest now, the moon and the sun, these are the representations of the feminine and the masculine respectively. So they are basically polar opposites of one another. So could you get energies that don't get along with each other anymore? Yeah, well, they're the opposites of one another. Well, maybe not the opposites of one another. I'm hearing that's not quite the right terminology, but either way, they don't necessarily get too well along. So this is a challenging aspect. Yeah, this is the steam, right? It's already steamy when the sun is in a water sign. But like adding the moon in fire as well, it kind of adds to it. So yeah, this is definitely this kind of, it's a battle, it's a confrontation, it's a boundaries and obstacles kind of an energy. So it's very conducive for this Mortal Kombat-esque finish him last final blows, yeah? I'm seeing, I've been talking about like all these warriors, right? I'm seeing Achilles in that movie Troy. I think it's Brad Pitt, and he's like flying through the air with a spear, right? Like it's like this real, you have honed in on exactly where you need to put the final blow to kill this boss once and for all, yeah? And this is what's happening. It's finish him, all right? We have the moon making a sextile with Mercury. Sextiles are really beautiful, harmonious, structure creating, that's kind of, those words came out very wrong. Mercury's still in retrograde shadow, right? Keep in mind. But the sextile makes the groundwork for change to come, but in a really beautiful, harmonious way, right? It doesn't change anything itself, but it kind of helps us out. So this is kind of like this confusion involving like that comes along with Mercury retrograde shadow is actually kind of helping us right now. I'm getting very Fool energy, and I've talked about this before, is that the Fool actually has one of its greatest weapons or tools for it moving forward down the Fool's journey path, is that it is in a way naive. That it is in a way untarnished by negative or positive experience. It goes in there not really knowing what to expect. And that naivety is actually what helps it kind of succeed in its journey. Because it's like if a dog has never been hit before, it doesn't even know to flinch when somebody raises its hand, right? And if it doesn't flinch, then it might actually, instead of cowering and putting itself in the way of the hand, it just keeps running, right? And it just moves straight past, and the hand comes down and he's already gone running. Right? It's like this really interesting energy of the, yeah, Mercury retrograde has been kind of beating us up. The shadow is kind of like confusing for us still, and it's done in only a few days, my friends. It's nearly finished. But this kind of fact that it's challenging us, and the fact that we're kind of not quite seeing things clearly, is actually helping us navigate these difficult times today on the 2nd of July. We also have the moon making a sextile with Saturn. And this is like, again, this is like we've already got this like we're delivering the final blow to Saturn, which is the monster that has like gotten so upset with its retrograde energy that it's like swelled up into this horrible beast and like looming over us, threatening to destroy us. But remember yesterday, Mars ran straight up to it and hit it with a flower, and it just kind of went poof. I'm hearing once it went poof, it actually shrunk down to its normal size and kind of stood there going, shit. Like, fuck, did I really do that? And then it's time for the parlay, right? The moon comes down from the tower with Venus and Mars on either side of her. And she comes down to speak with Saturn and go like, look, we know that you're struggling with the energies that are at play right now. We know that they're not conducive to you. We know that you like structure and you like the boxes and everything, but just trust me on this one. Like, let's have a discussion about this and let me try and help you kind of integrate it. It's that emotional and subconscious body coming into its own. And now with the protection of Mars and Venus, it's like it's warrior, prince and princess. It's able to move forward onto the battlefield safely in a time of, it's like they've called it, there's been a white flag that has been waved for a moment, and there's a moment of truce where the battle stands still and out comes the ruling leader easily on her horse, coming out to go like, all right, what can we do about this, guys? Let's have a parlay, right? It's a parlay. It's really interesting energy. It's yeah, what have I, yeah, it's very conducive, again, a sextile as well, this harmonious thing. Our subconscious and emotional body is helping Saturn through its healing process of getting rid of those structures that it really didn't want to let go of. I'm feeling that the rest of this Saturn retrograde is going to go a lot more smoothly now. It's softened a little bit. It's the worst is over, I'm hearing. That the hardest work has already been done. And it was really this battle where it grew and just like turned the mountain into the mole, made a mountain out of a molehill and just like blew this whole thing up and totally drama queen exaggerated. And we smacked it with the flower and it shrunk back down and went, all right, I'm ready to talk now. All right. What else? We got the moon making a trine with Mars. So Mars, our warrior, right? They've gone out to battle for us. Mars, as much as Venus was right there beside the moon up in the tower protecting her, Mars was really kind of like the linchpin in all of this, right? He went riding out fearlessly with his flower and smacked the beast on the foot, which caused all of the unraveling. So this trine, this beautiful, like lucky, again, supportive energy is almost like the moon is the queen, right? And she's knighting Mars. She's saying, thank you for your help. Thank you for being willing to fight for me. Thank you for being willing to go out and wrestle the dragon in behalf of the damsel in distress. You've done a beautiful job and you will forever be commemorated. It's like they're planning to put up a statue of him, and there's like shrines being erected in the temples to his likeness. And no, it's like, it's serious. Like, thank you, Mars. Your efforts have been absolutely instrumental, and your willingness to move forward and protect all of these emotional changes and these subconscious reworkings of our system and our body and our mind and our emotional senses. It's just like Mars has just done such a good job, you know, and it even polluted itself for a little while, right? It went off into Leo and did its own thing where it completely lost the plot for a minute, but it had to do that in order to come back into this pure strength. It's like it needed to see, it's almost like the prince and the pauper kind of deal. Like the prince needs to dress in rags and go and walk the streets and beg for money and panhandle and not know when its next meal is going to come from in order to understand the gifts that it's received by being born into monarchy or something like that. It's a real beautiful, beautiful, beautiful kind of energy. And last but not least, this is a really, 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 it's like, this is the final blow, right? This is the finish him energy. Mars is making a trine with Chiron. Again, look, we've got all these beautiful, we have, okay, the square between the sun and the moon, but like, let's be honest now, we're kind of, this is the energy of the being willing to sweep up the severed heads because we're just so used to seeing them that it doesn't really bother us. It's like if you were somebody that cleaned up the slaughterhouse floor, you wouldn't be so marred by blood and guts and gore anymore, right? It's the same kind of energy, is that the sun and the moon doing shit together that's uncomfortable. We're easy with that. But look at all these beautiful, two trines, two sextiles. This is really nice, conducive energy. Even though these might be lopsided, kind of bump and shake, kind of not so easy energies, they're still conducive to the structural foundations of this new life that we're basically walking into with all of this. Yeah, we're finishing the battle right now. We're slaying the beast once and for all so that we can ride off into the sunset with our damsel on the back of our horse, you know, like it is what it is. But with this Mars trining Chiron, Chiron is our wounded healer, right? He's all about the deep dark secrets that just hold us back, right? This is the stuff that Saturn doesn't want to deal with, right? Well, wounded healer or Chiron here, it's like he comes in as the executioner, the hooded masked figure that comes out with a giant axe, while there's this like Saturn is there with its head on the chopping block. And it's a real like Game of Thrones kind of an energy, you know? It's like Eddard even had to behead one of his friends once because that person went out of his integrity, and it's like he regretted doing it. He had to do it because it was like, these are the rules. Even though you're my brother and I love you, these are the rules, and you've broken them, and you need to suffer the consequences. So this is kind of what it is that Mars now being the knight, he's been knighted by the moon, right? Mars has now said to Chiron, gone, all right, I'm the warrior and I command the troops now. I've been promoted. I command the troops, and I need to call in Chiron, the wounded healer, to be the executioner. He needs to chop the head off of this monstrous version of Saturn in this retrograde. Yeah. So it comes in and it's like it chops off Saturn's head, and the head rolls away, but the new head comes growing in its place. Yeah. And this new head is like, now, like I said, Saturn retrograde for the rest of this is going to be a little easier because now it's grown its new head. Saturn has gotten rid of those old patterns that we weren't, that didn't serve us, right? We knew that we had to get rid of them, but the karma still had to catch up. And now it has caught up, and we've killed the karmic cycles, and we're finished with them, and we are moving forth, and we are ready now with our, you know, our warrior has been promoted to emperor, and our warrior princess is like, she's like shield maiden extraordinaire. Like, this is all really good stuff. But basically what I'm hearing, it's the final finish him energy of this whole struggle that we have been enduring for months about the recreation of ourselves. We have been becoming a new person. We have like not only been reintegrating our insides in terms of like our subconscious mind and our emotions and the way we talk to ourselves and the way we talk to others and our intellect, and we've changed our minds about things that we never thought we would, but like we have like actually like we've reprogrammed our body in a way. Like we maybe before, you used to be a sugar monster. It's like you couldn't, like as soon as dinner was over, you needed to like eat 10 cookies, and all of a sudden you just don't crave sugar the way you used to. Or like you were a heavy smoker for a long time, or you used drugs a lot, or drank too much for a long time. And now you find yourself this like, you're like exercising all the time, and you're like thinking about the food that you eat, and you're cooking at home instead of ordering cheeseburgers every night. You know, like this is it, guys. We've gone through the worst of all of this, and now it's just the little tweaks to get us 100% integrated into this new life. It's like when you arrive at, it's like in a weird American frat boy movie, you know, like the new kid arrives at university or at college, and they have like they're like paired up with a senior that shows them around. It's like their welcome wagon to campus, you know, like somebody from the student body like comes and shows them what's going on, you know. It's that kind of an energy. You've arrived at your new school, you're all settled in, you know where your homeroom is, but you just like need someone to walk around the halls with you for a few days just to like make sure that you remember everything. Yeah. Or like this person's on speed dial anyway. Even if they're not with you all the time, you can just message them and be like, hey, I don't remember where my science class is. Yeah, it's that kind of a vibe. All right, let's get to our daily cards. Let's ask the Starseed Oracle what is in store for today, the 2nd of July, 2021, for our beautiful circuit. Finish him, man. I love that energy. As I said that. Beautiful. Empathetic starseed. Sorry, I just had to take a second there to look at it. It's just so beautiful. Look, I'm being called very much to the like light, airy colors on this card. Like, see the pink and the pale blue and the white. It's all very healing, and it's like there's no darkness in this card. Yeah, there might be a little bit off in the shadows here, but it's just like the little bit of a reminder that we always need about relativity, and it's nothing we can't deal with, right? We've seen through these mirrors, we've healed it, we've turned ourselves upside down. We're doing all great. energetic sovereignty, though, is that like maybe once we had a problem, we had a hard time sort of protecting our own energies. Yeah, maybe we were a little bit energetically leaky, and we had some energetic leeches kind of tacked on to us that were just sucking us dry without us really knowing. But all this healing that we're going through has really taken us away from that energy. We're now sovereign beings, and we're now able to protect ourselves very well. I'm being called that if some of you are not quite sure about it, Janelle from Awaken All You Lightworkers, she's over on Instagram. If you need the link, just let me know. But search Awaken All You Lightworkers. She actually posted yesterday. It's like, I can't remember what the title was, but it's something like Protecting Your Energy 101. So go check out that video of hers if you do feel the need to. Furthermore, let's see what we've got in our divine feathers for today, the 2nd of July. It's like everything's so busy in the astrology that they don't even have time to tell us what's happening right now. I'm hearing it's like the final preparations before a big event, right? Like the doors are about to swing open, so we're just making sure the last candles are lit, and like, I don't know, it seems like, yeah, chickadee. Oh, this card always reminds me of my granny. She always called me chickadee. The time is right to release old patterns and energies. You're ready to embrace change. Enough said, my darlings. Look at this beautiful chickadee feather. It's a little bit gray. It kind of reminds me of this kind of grayish energy here. See, it's about the same color. Yeah, the chickadee. Time is right. It's time to release those patterns, chickadee. You've got this. Not to worry. You're divinely protected. You've got all of this. And Saturn, Mars smacked it with a flower. It's just a little thing now. It's lost its bad head, and it's gotten its new one that is on its shoulders correctly. You're going to be just fine. All right, my dears. I will be back tomorrow. Over on Instagram for another exciting live discussion of astrology and tarot for the moon transit to Taurus. That'll happen tomorrow, the 3rd of July, 2021. But until then, have yourselves a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever. I'm sorry if I've made you feel a certain way or for anything that you're going through. Thank you so much for being a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful being and lending your energy to this circuit. I love you very, 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 very much to the end of the earth and infinity and beyond. I accept this, and I hope you do too. But if not, that's cool. It's all good. See you next time. Love you. Bye.